Best pie of Thanksgiving. What's your go-to, Justin?
Thanksgiving, it's got to be pumpkin, but I don't think pumpkin's my favorite pie year round. But
What's your favorite
Thanksgiving.
pumpkin? What's your favorite
Apples.
pie year
Apples
round?
accepted at Thanksgiving. I'm not like kicking apple away from the table.
You should
So
peach it, cobbler it up a little bit.
I don't know if
right?
anybody's messed with it, but like, do you guys mess with strawberry rhubarb? Because that slaps. All right, strawberry rhubarb pie, that's good stuff.
I don't want any rhubarb anywhere near
Are
me.
you like over 60?
I might on the inside. Are we all?
They
I
serve
feel
that
like
in nursing. They serve that in nursing homes. Like, oh,
I
here's
just-
their strawberry rhubarb
Anytime
pie.
I hear
you know?
rhubarb, it's just like
All right,
You
so
don't
now I need
expect-
to, so now I'll go ahead and just listen to what you guys have to say, and I can. And,
I haven't experienced rhubarb. I gotta say.
no, I'm saying pie. What's your pie? So I can attack it.
I'm doing apple crisp because it's kind of
That's
like pie.
disgusting. You're a heathen. I'm just kidding. That's good. That's
Dutch
good.
apple with a little,
Oh, dude, my
sugar
grandma,
sprinkled over
grandma's
top.
like loves it. It's amazing. She's very good at making it.
banana cream pie is not bad. Not
All
like
right,
exactly
all
a
right.
Thanksgiving staple, but
Someone told me Boston cream pie is very good.
it is very good. It's more
That's
like
like I thought that was just a
it's kinda
donut.
cake.
Yeah, that's a cakey thing. Yeah, I don't know.
You're a
It's a cakey
you're a
pie.
donut.
All right. Well, that's offensive.
Donut. Homer Simpson would know the difference, right?
Justin's on the
Ooh.
road this week. We weren't even sure he had the music queued up, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you're
surprised,
watching,
right on time
anything's
with it,
prepared. I'm
you
surprised
know?
anything's prepared right now.
if you're watching right now on YouTube, you're looking at me laying sensually in a bed.
Yo,
That's
kick your feet back. Kick your feet
Look at
back.
this. Yeah, I'm
He
doing
worked
like
on his
the
pose a lot.
90s.
There you go.
Yeah,
Like
so
a
you can check it
swimmer.
out. Check it out on YouTube. Sports Injury Central. Give us
gotta get
a
the full
give us
visual version.
Yeah,
of
you got to
the
subscribe
room
on
that
there so you
Justin's
can
in. Yeah.
watch the full. This dark room. Yeah, it's very
Just
weird. Yeah,
above
but I'm
the
at
Harry
the
Potter closet. Yeah.
in-laws house this week, so we're we're going remote. Even more remote than we normally are. So
We appreciate you putting the time in. Long
Yeah,
time
no, yeah,
yesterday,
for
and
sure.
You're here in Chipper, so you're putting in work, Justin. We
yeah, I
appreciate it.
did my homework. I'm ready to do that. But if I randomly disappear, I apologize.
For sure.
Who knows
Sounds
what
ominous,
happens?
but we'll see.
Yeah, who knows? Anything could happen at this point.
All right. Luckily, fairly light injury week. Obviously, the big question on everyone's mind is Justin Fields. Will the fantasy all-star play against the Jets this week? Non-throwing AC joint sprain last week. Got tackled on the sideline, landed hard on the shoulder. Stayed in through that intersection late. Basically, the impression of the Pro Football Docs is he has the chance to play this week. It's going to come down to him, the team, and the GM deciding whether to push him through. He doesn't really risk any further injury to the shoulder playing through, and he can actually take a pain-numbing injection to be able to do everything he usually does, throw, run. Maybe mentally it affects his ability to run a little bit. Maybe he's a little tender, leading with the left shoulder, taking hits on that left shoulder, but the pain-numbing injection should take care of that. So we'll see if he plays against the Jets. The Jets have a great defense. Obviously, that'd be the backup bowl if he's not playing, because Zach Wilson lost his job to Mike White apparently for at least 1 week.
Good defense, bad offense.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yes.
it's gonna be an under game for sure. Although the Bears without Roquan Smith and the other trade, so Kyle Pitts is the other one. Took a hit right to the knee. Knee was planted, hyperextended knee basically with severe MCL tear. Correct.
Mhm.
Won't need surgery. Those usually don't need surgery. DeAndre Hopkins
The
had one last
isolated
year.
one,
He
yep.
had the isolated MCL surgery, which is rare for the MCL sprain. Pitts on IR. So who's the pickup there? Is it Drake London, the biggest beneficiary?
Yeah,
It was
but
kind of him or Drake London, but
yeah.
they don't really throw the ball in the offense, so makes it tough.
The Greek kid, I can't say his name. I don't want to. I'll butcher it.
Zacchaeus?
He'll have more opportunities.
The Greek god name, yeah.
They have a kid. I believe Parker Hesse, but I mean, I don't.
At tight end, or
yeah, tight end, yeah. But I wouldn't.
it's not
really,
Michael Pruitt, the blocker from the Titans.
I wouldn't.
I don't
touch
know,
him.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like Demir Bird, like every week, is the guy with like the massive big play. Like I keep seeing Demir Bird pop up.
That's just funny, actually, just saying that, because I just found out you're a bird person, so I'm
Right.
sorry for throwing
You
that
kinda
in
just
there.
You
melted
can
my brain
you can
for-
hear the
yeah.
bird right now. Yeah, Demir's
it's him.
screaming.
Demir
Pick me
Bird.
up, pick me up. That's Demir right now, hanging out.
That's my brain melted. Sorry, I had like a brain fart with how many ways to like reference that you're a bird person. Anyways, it might be the Mirror Bird, it might be Kadero Hodge, it might be anyone,
It's
but
just like that's the fact that it's such a weird situation. You can't pinpoint anything
It's-
to maybe till you
it's
see
Cordell
it.
Patterson. Shout outs for the kick return touchdown. Punt
Good.
return. We had a kick return touchdown and a punt return touchdown last week. So shout out to whoever had the Falcons and Patriots defense playing.
No, Hesse's actually, yeah, that's the one I was talking about. He's the kid from Iowa. He will receive it. Pruitt blocks very well, so you might get like a random touchdown in the middle. But I mean, like we just said, that you're gonna try to guesswork on who's gonna get those receptions. You might as well just avoid that offense until you see what's going on, because that's Pitts wasn't really doing much anyways, right? So
Wouldn't it be kind of hilarious if just Parker Hesse comes on the scene and is just a fantasy all-star at the tight end
absolute
spot
dominant,
instead
yeah.
of Kyle Pitts? Everyone would just lose their mind. So
For sure.
I'm kind of rooting for that in the back end. Not too much other injury wise, just some things that are already settled. Clyde Edwards-Helaire to IR with the high ankle sprain is Pacheco's running back room, as everyone saw last week, anyways, and the week before. Daryl Henderson getting waived. That's kind of an odd one. Cam Akers seems like the leader in that running back room, as much as Justin loves Kyron Williams.
It's Kyron Williams time, baby.
Literally since the start of the season, Adam Schefter putting Kyron Williams in the lineup, Justin has not moved from his Kyron Williams position.
Well,
I might start him, bro. I might be, I might. There's gonna be dump offs. Like, what else? What other offense are you gonna have? Like, I don't know what it's gonna be, but I feel like Kyron Williams is gonna get the work.
There's a lot of offenses to avoid, but we'll get the word from your bird on Demir Bird and any other birds in the future. Speaking of birds, Gus Edwards might not be back this week from the hamstring. If he is, maybe limited snaps. They like Kenyon Drake there anyways. Mark Andrews back from his shoulder.
And Jackson has a hip injury right now. He didn't practice today. He did say he'll play.
Illness last week kind of led to the dud game against the Panthers. I don't know how much you can blame that on illness.
He's always ill.
But yeah.
Now it's a hip illness. Like his hip is ill.
It spreads to his hip. That's
it seems like
not anatomically correct, but I feel for him.
No, he always something, and he always plays through it. I think we kind of try to attribute different stuff to why he's been bad this year. I think he's just been bad.
It's not good for his contract.
Yeah, I mean, I think
we'll see. Maybe he picks it up late, but Ronnie Stanley hurt too, so maybe he doesn't have the left tackle who kind of solidified the line.
No Bateman. Andrews hasn't been 100% for the last
Duvernay's kind of not it.
Yeah. So
Demarcus Robinson, is he the wide receiver to own in that offense right now?
Well, we'll get to him later. He's like one of those top things you put in the oven when you don't want to, right? So I mean,
he's a Thanksgiving leftover, so that means a better quality.
Those
leftover,
are the best.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's elite. That's an elite leftover.
That's a week of food for lunch, dinner. You just put all that stuff in one bowl. I think there's a name for it, but that's what my mom used to do. She used to just like get every single leftover, throw it in one bowl, and just be like, oh, a la mode or something. I don't know. I don't know what.
I don't think it's a la mode. I think it's just called "Here you go."
Yeah, it was good.
It's a Thanksgiving. Here you go.
A biscuit on the side, all warm. But yeah.
I don't trust your palate. That's a separate topic.
Before we get before we get into leftovers, let's hit dudes and the duds. Yeah.
Yep.
Dudes and duds.
Sounds better in Florida.
It sounds better, you said?
Yeah.
I'm more humid.
Oh, all right. Yeah, it might be just the humidity is making the sound.
Tone. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely thick.
Let's go for your dude, Taylor.
My dude is Amari Cooper. He's been good all year, honestly. 8 catches, 113, 2 touchdowns. He's had a quarterback, Brissett. That also, I just read he's like excited for his last start for Watson. That just sounds sad to me. But I
feel bad for Brissett. He's held down the ship. He's earned like another year or two in the league because of that.
And he will be. Yeah. He'll be always someone's backup. It's like Bridgewater with Teddy. Like Bridgewater's done enough to be a solid backup anywhere. So he's got 50 catches, 698, and 7 touchdowns. That's awesome.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Cooper wasn't been drafted. He wasn't drafted. He was getting forgotten about because Brissett was definitely a red flag. And you'd be not wrong to think so. You know what I mean? Like you should be thinking that. But like you said, held the fort down, had a great game last week with the 2 touchdowns. I mean, he had the 32 the week before, but then he had another 131 a touch last week, 2 weeks ago. So
that's injury based too. I mean, he's going against a Bills defense that still doesn't have Tre'Davious White. Tore his ACL on Thanksgiving last year. We detailed why it takes more than a year to recover and be back. So he's been consistent all year, but he ate against the Bills defense with Kyer Elam out too.
Like he should, yes.
Yeah.
So no, that was definitely injury based. His injury based pick. He's an injury based dude. So good for him.
He's avoided injury this year.
Yes,
surprisingly. So it seems like a mistake for the Cowboys to get rid of him.
Right.
Justin, who's your dude?
I'm gonna go with George Pickens for the Steelers, which is no dude has come from that offense in a long time. I probably could have thrown it to Najee Harris.
Jerome
actually,
Pettis,
Kenny Pickett is not a dude.
Jerome Pettis is the last time they had a dude.
Yeah, it's gross out there, but I'm going a little under the radar, dude, because I feel like long term, like rest of the season, like I feel like this is somebody that you could slide and flex and be happy with. But George Pickens, 6 targets, 4 catches, 83 yards and a touchdown. Last week, didn't score a receiving touchdown, but had a rushing touchdown. So the touchdowns are kind of keeping them afloat right now. But if you look at the rest of the season for them, it's kind of like they got the Colts. I mean, Colts could be good, but the Colts, Falcons, Ravens have been kind of whatever. The Panthers. And then the Raiders, I don't know. They're not very good lately. No offense to anyone here, but
they're a horrible defense.
Yeah, so I'm saying like the Steelers also aren't good, which is good for fantasy purposes because there'll be a lot of passes thrown, and I'm hoping we get a minimal progression from Pickett is going to make this a little bit better. But I feel like Pickens is the guy to own for the Steelers, and he's the dude this week for me.
We've seen a little better out of Najee Harris in recent weeks, so hopefully that re-energizes the offense too. But I kind of don't like Pickens for how much he's eaten into Deontay Johnson's value. I mean, I don't have any Deontay Johnson's shares, but every week Deontay Johnson was 100 yards, 80 yards, and now with Pickens there, it's kind of eaten into that. Even though they got rid of Claypool, my dude of the week, George Kittle. For purely selfish reasons, 4 catches, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the garbage time touchdown.
Cardinals are so bad against tight end.
They're so bad. They're like the second worst,
yeah.
but like, how are they not the first worst? They just lose them every time. They have no coverage linebackers. But that garbage time touchdown in Mexico City game won me a matchup by 1 point. The other guy had James Conner, and the backups immediately came in after that touchdown. So not only was it the go-ahead, it shut James Conner down the rest of the game. So
work both ways.
That's dude material if you're winning matchups for me.
That's a personal dude. Yeah.
Personal dude. All right, on to your dud, Taylor.
My dud is Justin Jefferson. When you need him most.
A week after he did that catch, you're gonna dud him?
When you need him most, he hurts you. 3 catches for 33. I know he's been good all year, but this isn't a whole.
That's on Kirk. Come on.
It's not a yearly week. It's on everybody. Darisaw net out too. There's multiple reasons why he didn't do it. But yeah, 3 catches for 33. That's not going to help you. There's a lot of people that were trying to get to the Scott Fish playoffs. A lot of people did, but he was a high draft pick. You needed him to do good these kind of games. If he has one even more and more as we get deeper into the playoffs, it's going to hurt you even more. So that's something that you need to watch for now. But horrible game. Horrible game.
What's up with them toes? Those toes okay for Justin Jefferson?
He's got a bad case of twinkle toes, so it's just
yeah.
I don't think it easier for him to drag the sideline, but it hurts a little more. You know?
No, I don't think the toe was an issue. I know it popped up on the report in practice.
No, we went back to his catches against the Bills. I mean, obviously he did everything against the Bills, and it didn't look like he had any limitation running the ball, getting open on routes, and it didn't look like that against Cowboys either. They just didn't have any time to throw with Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence getting in there.
Right.
Okay, so for my dud, I'm going to a team that's just an overall dud, basically a speed bump for the league. But the Houston Texans, I'm going with Dameon Pierce. 10 carries, 8 yards. That's pretty bad, especially for somebody who's as explosive as he is. But this just goes to show good. I guess I'd say great. I think Dameon Pierce is really good at football, but he's on such a bad team and in such a bad, like the game scripts are never going to be there for him. It's kind of the opposite of George Pickens. They're a bad team, but the game script will say Pickens will get something. Right. Dameon Pierce is going to be so unreliable moving forward, but you got to keep starting him, right? Because he's shown flashes of goodness, and you're hoping with this QB change,
right? He's gotten you where you are. So.
Who else are you going to start? I don't know. Right. It's not Melvin Gordon, so I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be.
I'm going to throw Taylor under the bus in not a bad way, but he was so on the Dameon Pierce over last week for his rushing prop. But because he's hit it the last 4 weeks, it's just like you can't find consistency. Like that was the most consistent you're going to find with the Texans, and that's not your fault, Taylor. They only ran him 10 times, couldn't get anything on the ground.
They went down 14.
Got down early, pick 6, all that stuff. So yeah, there's a reason.
It was a bad game.
And
overall.
Kyle Allen to that offense, that's not an upgrade anywhere for anyone.
Is it a downgrade though? I don't know. That's going to be interesting.
It's not an upgrade. It's just it might not be a downgrade.
It's a regrade.
At best, it's a lateral move.
Think about this weekend. You got Mike White, Kyle Allen, Darnold, Trevor Siemian, maybe hypothetically maybe, and Bryce Perkins. Like if there's
this is around the MVL time that the teams start packing it in. You know, it's a tank off. There's no clear number 1 for the tank. You know, so
some books some books have like just a prop of like over under how many touchdowns there's going to be. You should go under. Look at those guys that are playing. So that's just a thought.
All right, my dud of the week, also a Bear, Chase Claypool, 2 catches for 11 yards. He's had a game with 8 yards and a game with 13 yards since joining the Bears. This whole new role for him that was supposed to propel him into fantasy relevance and all this
Right.
stuff. So sorry, Chase.
Yeah,
It's
I
not doing
did
it.
kind of
It
feel
seems
with
like
that
an
trade.
easy one, right, Justin? It
It's
seems
easy.
like easy.
Yeah,
I
no, it
did
is
my homework
easy. It's a
late.
new. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's just like it's a new team. He's still kind of getting adjusted, and plus, there's something going on with Fields this past week. But
Does Robbie have worse stats than that?
Who?
oh
Robbie
yeah,
Anderson?
Robbie Anderson's dog water. Yeah,
He has more drops than catches, probably.
I love when you say dog water.
I'm just saying he's just
dog water.
yeah. Every time you bring him up, that's the first thing that comes to
That's
mind
the
is
image
because
of
I've
dog
seen
water
too much.
image,
I've seen
yeah.
too much of him
For
playing
sure.
football. So
You want another dud? It's an even easier one. Kadarius Toney for the goose egg,
Oof.
and every fantasy owner not trading him at the deadline
With the
like
hamstring,
me,
too, with
I
the
held,
hamstring.
I held on to him because I was like, this is finally it. You know, every other wide receiver's hurt. He's over his hamstring troubles. Boom, hamstring. What are you gonna do? You even said it. You
That's-
said it in our work chat. You're like, "Whoa, Kadarius Toney hamstring. Who would have thought?"
Yeah.
Like, who would have
No
thought?
way.
Like, but that's why I kept him because I was like, he's over it.
And it sucks because there's a chance that Schuster's back.
Miko Hardman's back.
Or he's
Yeah.
on IR. He's
Well,
on IR.
Yeah, but Tony's not getting over his hamstring in a week.
Right.
It's going to be a 2-3 week hamstring. So
I don't know what his
was
contract
the
looks
week.
like.
Yeah,
Is
this
he
was
still
the
a
week.
chief? He's still a chief next year. Is he still on for one more year? I
good
don't know.
question.
I know Claypool's still on for one more year, so I'm not really concerned with him
Tony
not really
is
gelling
definitely
right
still
away.
on his rookie contract.
Right.
Yeah, he's still
Claypool, yeah, the payoff for Claypool is probably next year, and I think that's actually going to work out well. I don't know what it is for
That was the move
Tony.
though too. I think
Yeah.
Claypool was definitely for the future. It
No,
was not
dynasty?
necessarily for right now.
Dynasty with him, Fields and Claypool hold training camp together, and they're going to have
Yeah.
a better offensive line with the picks and all this stuff. So yeah, believe in that offense next year.
And
But
I know that they're definitely going to go to Herbert too as well
they will.
at running back.
Yeah.
All right, there's a lot here. It's obviously we've depending on when you're listening to this, Thanksgiving has happened. Let's get to these leftovers.
The leftovers.
Is that like leftover mashed potatoes? Is there like gravy on it?
There's
Are
a
we
cute. That was a cute lead in right there. Oh,
Yeah,
keep playing for it? It's the Thanksgiving
From his
leftovers.
stomach.
We've been setting this up like
yeah. I'm trying to think like not a lot of that hits as good in the microwave. You know what I mean? Like it's tough. Like
Like
you're
I
not-
made mac and cheese yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not warming that back up.
if you do, you got to put it in for like 5 minutes and then just like let it sit for a while.
Yeah.
oh,
but
like
but
burn.
things-
No, not 5 minutes, but like like extra time that you would because you don't want it like half warm in the middle.
Yeah, you do a little bit, you
Yeah.
mix, and then you do
Too
it
much.
again.
Yeah, you gotta mix
No, I don't
section.
do all that. I
Yeah.
just like too long and then like
Oh,
just, like,
okay.
later and
Gotcha.
let it sit.
So anyway, football players, huh?
Yes. What about him?
Nice transition.
Yeah.
Marlon Mack, I think, is the leftover that everyone should be looking at. Baltimore. The Broncos have nobody in their running back room. It's Latavius Murray and then nobody. Mike Boone on IR. Chase Edmonds, who just got acquired there. This would have been his week, but he's on IR with a high ankle sprain. Marlon Mack's the only guy who catches the pass there. Not that they throw the running back, not that Russell Wilson has
Does
figured out this
that.
offense, but
Right.
worth a flyer. I mean, Chase Edmonds ain't coming back anytime soon. Mike Boone, who knows? He might be in the mix in the next 2-3 weeks, but Marlon Mack's going to have an opportunity. Or we're just super blind to Marlon Mack because we
Yeah.
said the same thing with the Niners. and
I'd say
didn't
he
change
is
that, so.
he is
This
worth
seems
a
like the
flyer.
most- yeah,
Yeah.
this seems like he actually has like other like I don't know, the Niners. You had so many different players that are there. Like this one literally seems like he's actually the number 2.
Like they're
And-
signing guys
and-
out the practice squad to fill the like roster spots for running back. They didn't have any other plans.
Like these people weren't there week 1. Yeah. So
And Melvin Gordon got you called in the office on Sundays. You fumble one more time, you're off this team.
yeah,
That's 100% what
that
happened.
has to be what happened. It was so
immediate.
reactionary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they finally gave him a carry in the red zone, and then he fumbles it, and then they get a field goal. Field goal's blocked. Going to lose.
Imagine doing something since college and someone's like, no, no, no. And then like you're like a 40-year-old dude. He's not 40, but like you're still doing the same thing. It's like
We're done with you.
yeah. Like
You had your chance.
Yeah.
Sky Moore, yes or no? Worthy to be hyped about him?
No.
Could he be the Christian Watson of the season?
he had his
No.
first good game last week, but it's also because like we said, Tony was out. I would just pick him up just because it's a Chiefs offense and he was we've been expecting him to do at least a little bit since he was drafted. Watson took a long time too, remember? So I mean, Moore just hasn't come close to even a touchdown yet.
Yeah.
But he did get the intermediate routes down the field. He had over 50 yards, I think. So I mean, I would definitely like take a flyer on him. We're talking about all these leftovers, right? That's a flyer for sure. But I mean,
But is that
I
a
know we're talking
flyer?
about-
Is that a flyer you'd ever feel comfortable starting though? Like
No.
that's the thing about like the Chiefs wide receivers is it's like you got to be pretty desperate to go there.
No, his 63 yards last week was something that was probably on everybody's bench. I totally agree. Yeah, and
Yeah.
like this is someone like you said, maybe you stash and see what's going on. Maybe if he does another 60 this week, you'll be like, oh, okay, he's part of the offense now. But like we just talked about, Schuster's back, Scaling still there. I know Hardman's not there, but once there's one opening with Schuster out, you could slide a couple more targets. But there's not going to be much left for him back when Schuster's there. So good for Moore to finally have his game. But I mean, we're thinking 5 and 63 is like the path to success.
That's the ceiling for him right now,
Right.
unfortunately.
Yep.
No, this is Justin's least favorite time of year because he can't pick up anyone and swindle them for something. He'd be trying to trade Sky Moore all week.
Yeah, no, I would not. I wouldn't do that to somebody. I don't know. I know that I can tell when there's at least a shred of value. I don't know what Sky Moore's value is. It's literally, I don't know. It's just it's circumstantial at best. Like you don't know if anything's going to really come from this, and no one would ever feel comfortable putting him in because it's like you said, it's like a rotation of wide receivers.
And Travis Kelce's just a black hole. He just catches everything, touchdowns, red zone, everything.
Right.
Demarcus Robinson, how legit do you think he is in the Ravens offense?
I think he's a warm body that's playing well.
That's a
which is all they have.
Yeah.
That's literally all they. That's all they have,
you
right?
need to be
warm
right
bodies
now.
are producing, dude. So I mean, no, I just don't think he's overly talented, but he's
starting him or Devin Duvernay.
Both, because you don't know which one it is.
I know that's so. It's so frustrating.
No, Demarcus Robinson has he was the warm body in the Chiefs offense as like the 4 option, and he caught 4 or 5 touchdowns and produced a little, I think at least 400 yards. So I mean, he can do it, but we're acting like he's someone we need to get 600 and touch to be okay, and that shouldn't be something you're doing.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
Logan Thomas, I know the tight end landscape's decimated. We just talked about the Falcons tight ends that you could potentially pick up. So that's where we're at in the fantasy year. It's not going to be Michael Pruitt. Don't waste the roster spot. But Logan Thomas,
5 for 65 last week. He's been so
he's
bad.
been so irrelevant because of his calf strain. I think that's kind of
coming off
flown
the
under the
ACL.
radar.
Coming off the
ACL and the calf strain on top of it, injuries.
Yes.
And he has been limited the last 4 weeks. It's been almost a month, but
yeah,
the last 2 games he's put up numbers.
This reminds me of just a Sky Moore thing. He had his first good game, almost the same stat line as Moore, but it's just is he going to do this again?
I trust Heineke more than Carson Wentz. I don't know why, but
then the thing is, though,
Heineke's good for that offense.
Heineke's good for the offense, just not. He can push down the field. Tight end was probably better for Wentz, to be honest.
You're probably right.
So
feeding Goddard all those years. Yeah,
he fed all 9 tight ends from the Colts last year.
Yeah,
Cox, all those people he had. So I mean, it's good that he had a good game finally. He was already gonna have a slow year coming off the ACL and then the calf. So, but in tight end premium leagues, it's something you should definitely take a stab at.
All right. Randall Cobb, 14% owned in 12-team leagues on Sleeper.
I just think that's low. I mean, honestly, he's old, so I think it's taken him a while to come back from the ankle sprain. But I mean,
he's not AJ Green old, so he's still relevant.
No, that's Dusty old. Yeah,
that's Dusty old.
So no, Cobb definitely has the opportunity.
They had chemistry before you left, before the ankle. Rodgers was just feeding him, and now it's just been all Christian Watson. But I don't think that's going to continue. That's not sustainable.
I mean, Dobbs is still out. Tanyan's been doing it, iffy. Not really a large part of the offense. So I mean,
ACL too. So he's limited mobility. He's just a big body.
No, absolutely. So if Cobb just at least plays enough, he should get a decent snap share and target share. So I would say this is definitely a stab as well.
All right, this is our grossest leftover of the year, pretty much. I'm going to combine them all into one because it's so gross to say. You have to stream one of these. You have to stream one of these backup quarterbacks this week, whatever scenario you're in. Mike White, Kyle Allen, or Sam Darnold. Who are you going with?
Should we add Perkins in there too?
No.
No. Honestly, probably Mike White. At least the Jets have won some football games,
Mike
so
White against
maybe
the Bears isn't bad. I don't think
I might be down with Mike White.
And Mike White has done decent since when he starts as well.
How's James Robinson done on the Jets?
James Robinson's been terrible. They're actually just talking about him. I was watching him on TV. He had 2 snaps last week, and he had 1 run. It was negative yardage.
Well, to be fair, Michael Carter didn't exactly do anything either. That was just that was a bad game. That whole team kind of sucked. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
James Robinson has 75 yards since joining the Jets in 3 games.
7 carries for 10 yards last week.
Yeah, he's got 25 carries for 75 yards, so 3 a carry. That's not getting it done.
I think whenever you get more yards than carries, you're doing all right. 7 for 10, beautiful.
Etienne was getting all the carries. So, I mean, He is showing though, like coming back from Achilles is no joke. So
He looked good early on, but
Yeah.
it's hard to stay consistent for a 16 game season
for
and
sure,
do all that rehab and
the
all that
wear and
stuff.
tear and
So
everything. Yeah.
hope he figures it out. But is Mike White the consensus pick? I don't think anyone wants to go Darnold.
I'd go
Kyle
Darnold.
Allen's
I
like-
think I'd go Darnold over Allen though.
No, the thing about that's why I don't agree with you. I'm gonna tell you why. Out of all the picks, this is why you have to think of it like, who's gonna get benched first? It's Darnold.
Darnold's going against the Broncos. That's not going to go well.
Darnold's getting see because then you're not gonna get stats if your guy gets benched. Mayfield can come in at any time.
But Kyle Allen against the Dolphins, that's also not good.
Yeah, but Kyle Allen's staying in the entire game, guaranteed.
Yeah, because they're not going back
Because they're
to
trying to
days.
figure out
Yeah.
what they have in Kyle Allen in this offense. Because you should know what you have in Kyle Allen, basic. So like going any more than that, like you're telling me he's better than Davis Mills? Like Davis Mills is basic. So like I don't know if there's much.
He's like the best version of basic.
But they
too.
need to see it live in game to see that. So that's fine. Let's take a game and see it. But
I think Levy Smith's just bored. He's on like playing for a 1-win Texans team. He's like, whatever, just throw Kyle Allen out there.
Yeah, just see if you can. Like, let me get them a number 1 pick like they want. You know what
There
I mean?
goes
Like,
the Davis Mills, Brandon Cook stack that everyone's chasing after in DFS.
well, that's been
for sure.
unfortunate talking about bust. Cooks does not have a good year this year.
And then
it
he's
seems
got
mental.
Kyle Allen too.
Yeah.
That's a further downgrade.
Yeah.
Anyway, shootouts or droughts. Justin, where's your homework? No, I'm kidding. We don't.
Yeah, no, sorry.
the intro for it.
Whoopsie. Yeah,
It'll
it's
be our Christmas present. You'll have it ready for us.
Yeah. Oh, Christmas. Yeah, but sometime Christmas
yeah,
next year.
Black Christmas.
Yeah,
I was
I'll
gonna
have
say.
it.
Christmas next year. Come on.
What?
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
All right. This one kind of surprised me. Chargers and Cardinals is the highest point total of the week. I don't agree with that because of the Cardinals O-line situation. 4 offensive linemen out. They might get the left tackle back, but Kyler Murray with that hamstring, he's not fully mobile, eligible to sacks, and James Conner has kind of been not efficient. I mean, they have the first 3 linemen out, so it's kind of hard to be efficient, get push. After that, Chargers lost Mike Williams. Maybe there's a chance he comes back this week. They said he LP'd today, so but do you trust him in fantasy if he plays again this week? No. He could easily re-injure that ankle and miss more time. So I think they play it cautious with him. Keenan Allen might be an option, but these aren't 2 offenses that are just humming. I don't know about this game.
No, I think there's a lot of injuries, especially on the defensive side, which is why there's definitely the high total. But like you said, I have this theory. I was telling the doc about this too. Like when we watched for the Cardinals, which is why we on our sick picks did under 16.5 points team total, is that when you have offensive line issues, especially 3+, like
They got 3 on IR.
yeah,
They're
Yes.
not getting better anytime soon.
yeah, and you have it's sometimes it's worse when you cluster and you're dropping levels like left guard 1, left guard 2. You're going to start feeling it, right? So sometimes there's not a big drop off between left guard 2 and 3, but you're starting to drop down level of talent, right?
Yeah.
And now that you have like these teams have 3+ injuries on the offensive line, like you said, 3+ starters out, it's hard to score points, and you're on the backup quarterback as well. So like you said, I know Kyler's going to come back. That will definitely help. But his mobility is not going to be 100% like it was. It's going to be like 85 if that. So, and the Chargers have such bad issues on the defensive line. They're already on the second string, third string on some of those positions. It's not helpful. So, I mean, that
So
seems like a high. I think
backup O-line against backup D-line. Who wins?
Yeah,
That's what you're trying to predict, basically.
No, it's just an interesting situation.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's a situation that's weird.
Cancels out almost.
Yeah. So, I agree. It's a high total.
Raiders, Seahawks, both bad defenses. I think that one will be a shootout for sure.
That makes
Devontae
sense.
Adams, no Darren Waller yet. Foster Moreau has yet to become fantasy relevant in that offense.
Woolen's been really good.
Woolen is really
So
good.
I see him like definitely like limiting Adams's production.
Is it
but,
Matt Collins week then? No.
Never will be.
Zay Jones?
He's always going to be the special teams captain, so that's good for him. But no, there's what's it called Zay Jones isn't even there anymore.
Yeah, Zay Jones on the Jaguars, right? I think he's on
Yeah.
the Jags. Yeah.
No,
I
there's
can't keep track.
no, there's not much there. I mean, Josh Jacobs is getting a lot of work in the running game. So
Keelan Cole's who I'm thinking of,
yeah,
former Jaguar.
don't do that. No, just look at Jacobs. He's continually they were just gonna run the ball more. There's no passing options. They did win the game with Adams, but that's just because a good play call by McDaniels seeing Surtain being too aggressive. So I mean, I do see that total being high because both defenses are terrible. But like you said, a couple of those offenses are not playing well.
Yeah, we got Texans Dolphins is the next one. That's kind of a weird one. We talked about Kyle Allen in that game. Dolphins are just going to absolutely destroy the Texans, though.
Like they might have 47,
Yeah.
which is why that total is so high.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Stingling was out last game too. So if Stingling can't make the game this week, you're facing one of the best wide receiver duos we've seen in a while. That's going to be very, very bad for that Houston team. That looks like you said they're packing it in with the Allen, with the Cooks not being there mentally for the team. Getting a C taken away. It just seems like that seems like they shouldn't be in this conversation for high total. And like the only reason why is like I just said that you have Dolphins covering the total by themselves.
Packers Eagles is the other one. I know Justin will have all eyes on that game.
That's one of my favorite games of the week.
Triumphant return of Aaron Rodgers after his broken thumb saga, and he's
he's fine.
Yeah,
if you've been playing with it for week 5, why are you bringing it up in week 12? That's just what I want to know.
So
yeah, Packers have been bad. Eagles, are they fake 1 seed right now? Is that what's going on? Like they're slipping right now. I don't know what's going on.
I didn't get a chance. I mean, there's a million games going on in the morning. I want to watch that like NFL Plus rewind of that game against the Colts, because how did they almost lose the Colts? Like Jeff Saturday's not making that much of a difference in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, no.
The Colts defense is good. So
yeah, that's an interesting situation.
I think the Eagles defense is so good. I don't know if they're a fake 1 seed. I think you sound jaded 4-7.
Are they
Packers.
fake offense though?
I don't like Jalen Hurts. I don't think his play is sustainable, like going forward in winning games. But he's doing it right now. They did get him an AJ Brown, which has helped out a lot. Miles Sanders has had a resurgent year as well. We talked about in the room, their turnover ratio is essential to their winning record. They're almost doubling up on people on turnover, differential per game. So that has dipped in the last couple weeks, right? That's why they're close to losing multiple games. That's why they lost to the Commanders, right? They literally turned the ball over 3 times that game. So when they do not turn the ball over, though, they will win. So you guys limit the turnovers. The thumb's fine for Rodgers. He plays effectively. Then yeah, you could call him a fake 1 seed, but they have been playing really well.
Christian Watson got another 100 yards and a touchdown in him.
Yeah,
that's so sustainable.
4 touchdowns this game. I feel like to be fair, I don't think the Packers win this game. I still think the Eagles are definitely the better team, but I thought that maybe there's a little instability after going 8-0 and then like kind of dropping one and then like looking. They just haven't looked like the 8-0 Eagles coming into that game. So I don't know.
They haven't looked at the 8-0. I mean, I feel like they haven't looked crazy all year. I mean, the first game of the year, they barely beat the Lions by 3 points, right? So no, I get it. Like they don't look like a 9-1, but I'm like looking at the computer screen right now, and it says 9-1. So that's good.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. A lot of people like that from their fantasy teams.
You can only say schedule for like half the season.
We're on week 10
9-1,
right now. Yeah, now we're at a certain point. Like they've only lost 1 game.
They proved it. Yeah,
like
you can't keep hating on them. Miles Sanders is just so difficult to trust in that offense. So.
Oh my God, he for a second there, you thought it was like finally coming together for him, right? It looked really good. We got this, and then as soon as you trust him and throw him in without, and it's like, here's 2 fantasy points, here's 4 fantasy points. So you're like, okay, this is
what's Melvin Gordon's outlook on what's Darrell Henderson's outlook on the Jaguars? Melvin Gordon's still free agent, correct?
Look away. That's his outlook. Look away.
He's not eating into Etienne snaps?
No, he's not eating into Snoop Connor's snaps. Come on. I don't know. He's just not been good. Yeah, he's a veteran. I think he's just a veteran guy in the locker room. Maybe he. I don't know.
The situation is just so interesting. It's just like Darrell Henderson had like a full year and 3/4 to win that job. Cam Akers tore the ACL. Tore the Achilles. Was out all last year. Came back in the playoffs and didn't look good. And then the year starts and everyone drafts Cam Akers because they're like, he's the man. Darrell Henderson's the weak handcuff that people got in like the 8th, 9th round. And then all of a sudden he's the lead back because Cam Akers can't pass block.
Mm-hmm.
And then boom, it's back to Akers.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's super gross.
But it's not a sign of confidence for Darrell Henderson, that's for sure.
Right.
For sure. Well, I don't know if anybody else has anything on the list here, but it's Thanksgiving time. I don't know what you guys are doing for the holidays. Anything crazy?
Just eating 2 dinners.
Just eating? Is that all? What else do you do, man? That's it. You just eat.
Eat and watch football. There's a lot of college basketball on. There's some good NBA on Friday.
I feel like I'm just changing my meal for the day. Like
just taking a break from the usual boring
bigger
meal.
portions.
My family's farther away, so I don't see them on today like normal people. So I just gotta like change my meal, eat turkey instead of ham. Like, that's it.
That's exciting.
Sounds like a big day for you. Yeah, I'm excited. Can't wait to see. I'm assuming in the group chat you're gonna throw some photos of the the new
Oh,
meals.
absolutely,
I
of the
don't know.
feast.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to take some selfies with our food. That's if you don't take pictures of your food, did you really eat Thanksgiving
No one
dinner?
knows if you actually ate anything.
Yeah,
Grow-
It's a fact.
did you grow up?
yeah. What the heck? All right, guys. I guess we'll catch you next week after the holidays. We'll be a little heavier, and hopefully our fantasy team's point scoring will be a little heavier than last week as well, because it was pretty gross out there last week.
Obesity for all. I
Need
guess.
more than
yeah.
that. Yep.
Yeah, I would love to have my fantasy scoring become just morbidly obese
for sure.
for the
Tell
holidays.
Dr.
That'd
Oz,
be
yeah.
great.
Tip the
Yeah.
scales, absolutely.
All right, I'll catch you guys next week. And again, at SixScore on all social medias and SixScore.com for all the analysis. And good luck this week in your fantasy endeavors. Also, I got to do podcasts from a bed more often. This is very comfortable.
Yo, you're like falling asleep over there.
I'm just getting dozing.